What it do, baby? It's your boy Enrico, and I'm back again. This time I came to holler at y'all about Antonio Pierce and the Las Vegas Raiders and how the Las Vegas Raiders need to hire Antonio Pierce as the full-time head coach and not the intern head coach anymore. Now, if y'all don't know, before last season, not this season, the season before this season, which was last season, and the off season before last season, the Raiders hired Josh McDaniels as their head coach. Now, mind you, Josh McDaniels, we all know where he come from, New England lineage. He come from the New England, the Belichick tree. He was an offensive mind. He left New England at one point to go to Denver to become the head coach. They started off about 6-0 or 8-0 or something like that. Next thing you know, they fell off. It turned out he was cheating and things like that. Well, what do you know? The apple don't fall too far from the tree, I guess. But, I guess he was cheating. So, they pretty much, fired him after a year or so in Denver. And he came back to New England, to become the offensive coordinator again. He won some more Super Bowls with Brady. He's, known as an offensive genius or whatnot. And, the Raiders hired him as their coach the season before last. Josh McDaniels was horrible. Mind you, before that, he actually had a job offer to the coach and accepted a job offer, but then reneged on the coach. So not only did he get caught cheating in his first time as a head coach, and he was horrible. The players didn't like him, nothing like that. None of that. I mean, players didn't like him, none of that. Not only that was going on, but the second time you got offered a job, you accepted it, and then you reneged. Left the coach hanging. They had to get, who the coach get? I forgot who the coach got. The coach before they just got this last coach. Frank Wright. They had Frank Wright, who just got fired from the Panthers earlier this season, who should have hired Steve Wilkes, which is funny. But listen, McDaniels was horrible. So after a tumultuous start to the season, I don't know exactly what their record were, but they were heading south very fast. The Raiders they were tanking. They not tanking, but the team was going downhill. They had no posts. They did not believe in Josh McDaniels again. They fired him. Now, to my surprise, after they fired him, they elevated linebackers coach Antonio Pierce. Now, I got history with Antonio Pierce being a Washington fan because he started his career in Washington. And shout out to my man Fred Smoot, man. Shout out to my boy Fred Smoot, the former Washington Redskin, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have no peace with the situation right here. I'm about to explain to y'all. I would have no peace with this explanation, with this situation, if I didn't hear this explanation from my boy Smoot. So shout out to Fred Smoot. But as a young Washington fan, I used to see this man, Antonio Pierce, number 58. He started off on a special team. That boy was killing shit on special teams. Killing it. Smacking people left and right, making plays. So I'm like, okay, I like this dude Pierce, man. I fuck with Pierce. Boom. He actually started like his last year before he left. Boom. I like Pierce. He cool. He good. I like what he brings to the table. He a real leader. All that. You can see that. I'm a youngin'. Young. I'm talking about like 10, 11, 12 years old, whatever the fuck I was back then. I'm peeping it. I'm like, I fuck with this dude Pierce. We need to keep Pierce for sure. He's a real Redskin. Next thing you know, he gone. What? What the fuck happened? For 2-3 years, we were sitting there looking for a fucking middle linebacker. In the back of my head, I'm like, why do we let this dude Pierce go? We sitting there looking for linebackers, signing Jeremiah Trotter and all these dudes. And we had Pierce right here. Why we let him go? Now to add salt to the wound, where did he go? To the New York Giants. And it took us 2-3 years, like I said, to even find another linebacker again. And we finally signed Leonard Fletcher. He gave us the rest of the gas in his tank in his career. And I appreciate Leonard Fletcher, but we let Pierce go to the fucking Giants, where he became the leader of the defense and led them to a Super Bowl championship. And I'm pretty sure he had some more years left in him if it wasn't for that Plaxico Bird situation. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause he was right there in the middle of that. And that kind of I felt like expedited to end his career because he had some gas in the tank left, I believe. But you know, he was satisfied. He was happy with what he accomplished. So, you know, he wasn't tripping by walking away. But that stung as a Redskin fan to watch that man win a fucking Super Bowl with the bum ass Giants. I'm not gonna lie, that shit stung. You know what I'm saying? And it always stung to me that he went to the Giants. But recently, within the last several months, I heard my man Fred Smoot explain the situation, and it all makes sense. It all added up. We ain't have enough money to sign him or Smoot. They both was about to be free agents. We ain't had enough money to sign either one of them because your boy Dan Snyder, what a surprise, came in there with that dumbass mentality. It was just throwing money left and right, spending money everywhere. Signing Bruce Smith, Deion Sanders, all these old heads, all these old dudes. Even though, you know, I was excited as shit back then. I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, I was young though. I didn't understand the game. I didn't really know how shit worked. So I'm just saying the names. I knew who they were. I was like, what the fuck? We got Bruce Smith. We got Deion Sanders. What the hell? We about to win the fucking Super Bowl. That's what I'm thinking back then. And I guess Daniel Snyder was thinking the same thing. He was thinking like a fucking kid. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to be thinking like a grown man, but he was thinking like me. So he thought that shit worked like that, but obviously didn't. So meanwhile, you spend all this money on these old heads. Meanwhile, young dudes, real core players like Antonio Pierce, there's no money left for him. There's no money left for Fred Smoot. So we had to let dudes like that go. But for years, I actually thought, you know, and it was killing me and hunting me because I'm like, why did we let my man Pierce go? And I actually thought we were that goofy because we were that goofy back then. Vinny Serrato was our GM. If y'all know about Vinny Serrato, y'all know. If you don't know, look him up. He's an idiot. Class A idiot. The dude is a joke as a GM. You know what I'm saying? And he was just doing anything with us. So I actually thought and considered and actually thought all these years that we just let Antonio Pierce go. Like we just ain't value him. We just ain't see the talent. We just ain't see the leader, the man he was, the football player he was. I actually thought that, and that shit used to fuck me up. Cause I'm like, you could see clear as day this dude was a real baller. You know, you could see it. So I just never understood. I never understood that. So to hear that explanation from Fred Smoot was so relieving for me, man. It like took some weight off my shoulders as a Redskin fan, as a Washington fan, because now I know deep down we wasn't that fucking goofy. We just ain't toss away Antonio Pierce. We just ain't let him walk out our building like we didn't know we had a good fucking player. At least there's a good explanation for it, even though the explanation is ridiculous because that was some stupid ass shit we was off back then. But I understand now. So now I got peace. So Antonio Pierce, you still my dog, man. I'll never forget you started with us. You was never supposed to leave, bro. But everything happened for a reason, man. Especially for you. You won the Super Bowl. Even you went to the punk ass Giants. You won the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't do that for you. So at the end of the day, I'm happy for you. But fast forward to 2023, Antonio Pierce gets hired as the intern coach. Well, elevated to the intern coach after the Oakland Raiders fired Josh McDaniels. Now, let me get right to it. Mark Davis. Listen, man. I don't know that much about you. I don't know much about your history. I know about your dad, probably more about you, just from what I've seen, read, heard, watched, you know, whatnot. And we all know, anybody know anything about Big Al Davis, we all know his motto was, just win, baby. Just win. So, if you don't understand what that really means, like, you should understand what that means. And I know you do. That means winning is the priority. That means whatever it takes. That's why them Raiders got the reputation they have, the old school Raiders. Them boys was hard-nosed. They played, you know, right on the edge, right on that fine line of hard-nosed, tough football and damn near dirty football. And whatever it took, that was their style. That's how they was coming with it. And everybody knew they was dealing with the Raiders. That's what they had to deal with. And Al Davis loved it all. He was here for all that. He was here for all of it. And he was going at the league, having battles with the league, all that, suing the league, winning stuff against the league, all that. He was a real live Raider, a real live tyrant, and he demanded nothing less of people that was serious and going hard to win football games. Now, when y'all fired, I forgot who the hell y'all last coach. Well, yeah, John Gruden. When y'all fired John Gruden, the guy that took over Forgive me if you mess your name up. Not Pistachio. Oh my goodness. See, I'm sorry. That's what I'm saying. Like, I just be talking off the cuff, y'all. I should have did a little more research. That's on me. But the previous interim coach for the Raiders, he had the team looking good after they fired Jon Gruden. The team was looking good, similar to how they look now with Pierce. And, you know, the players are pretty much speaking out, and I think flat out speaking out and saying, look, we like this guy. We believe in this guy. And we want him to be the coach going forward, basically. And the owners and Mark Davis and the GM and whoever else, they ignored it. They ignored it. They went and hired Josh McDaniels, ignored the players, what they said, even though the players showed them their performance got better after the fucking interim coach took over. They still said, nah, we don't care about that. We going to hire our guy. We going to hire the guy we want. Okay, Josh McDaniels. Now he failed. Failed miserably. Crash and burn. Poof. Boom. Blew up in y'all fucking faces again. So now, this time, y'all hired Antonio Pierce, interim coach. Now, he got these boys really looking like something. He really got these boys looking like something. I forgot, like I said, y'all, their record was horrible. I think it was like 4 games under 500 when they fired McDaniels, or 3 or 4 games under 500. But it wasn't like their record wasn't that bad. So I'm saying it might have only been 2 or 3 games under 500. But like you can see the team was not in sync. They had no rhythm. The morale was not high, and like you can see they were underperforming. They weren't getting the best out of the team. You can see it clear as day. So they fired him on time. Well, they ain't fired on time. They fired him too late. But they fired him when they fired him. Pierce gets the interim job, and what do you know? He's 4-3, y'all. 4-3 since he's taken over. Antonio Pierce, man, and we all can see, clear as day. Clear as day. We all can see. We all can see that it's a clear difference with this team. It's a clear difference in the way that they respond to Antonio Pierce versus Josh McDaniels. It's a clear difference. The team is competitive. They beat the Chiefs the other day. They beat the Chiefs, man, and Arrowhead, Christmas Eve. The Chiefs need to win. The Chiefs trying to get things right. They're trying to fight for playoff position. And they beat them. Flat out. And they didn't even score an offensive touchdown, I believe. Which is crazy. Punched them in the mouth. Old school Raider football. Physical football. Smash mouth. All that. You know what I'm saying? Took the fights on, man. And that directly comes from Antonio Pierce. You can see that. He brought a new energy to the team. A new energy. And this is the most important thing. Not the most important thing, but it's a key point I want to mention. Very key point. Who's the Raiders quarterback right now? Yeah, exactly. Aiden O'Connell, 4th round pick from Purdue, I believe. Like I said, man, I'm talking off the cuff, off the top of my head. I should have did a little more research, you know. But I like doing it this style sometimes. It's like giving it to y'all raw, pause. I like giving it to y'all uncut, unfiltered. You know what I'm saying? So my man O'Connell, he's a decent player, developmental, you know, NFL quarterback. Can maybe be a decent starter one day, but he's not that. Like we all know, he's not that. He's not that. He's the game manager at best right now, you know. And that's what my man has to work with. That's who Davante Adams has him throwing the ball right now. That's who throwing Davante Adams the ball. Aiden O'Connell. That's who running the Raider offense. That's who just beat Mahomes. Aiden O'Connell. So Antonio Pierce is doing this with Aiden O'Connell. Imagine if you give Antonio Pierce a real quarterback. Imagine. Can y'all imagine that? Like I'm imagining it. I'm excited thinking about it, because if he could do this with O'Connell and this type of team, what would he do with a real quarterback in a real off season to implement his system and to really entrench his culture in it, and you know what I'm saying, to the organization, which he grew up a fan of, by the way. Grew up in Compton, Los Angeles, California, by the way. Grew up a Raiders fan. So it's a full circle moment. And it's crazy. His first game coaching, they played the Giants. Like, everything is just full circle. Everything is adding up. So, Mark Davis, if you don't see all the writings on the wall, if you can't tell that everything is telling you and showing you that you better elevate Antonio Pierce, the head coach, my boy, my man, you will never have success. You will never see it. You just can't keep spitting in the face of, you know, good, positive energy. Like, you can't do that. You can't keep going against good energy and thinking good things gonna happen to you, my boy. It's not gonna happen. I'm trying to tell you. I had to learn that the hard way myself. You know, I'm still learning every day. But best believe I'm starting to learn my lesson more. And, you know, I'm not gonna keep making the same mistakes. And neither should you, my man. Pasazio, I can't remember his last name. When you let him go, you made a mistake. And you better not do the same with Antonio Pierce. Not to mention the fact that the NFL can use more African-American coaches. We all know that, more black coaches, not minorities. No offense to Mike McDaniel from the Miami Dolphins. And the Dolphins got a third-round pick because they hired Mike McDaniel as a minority, quote-unquote. No offense to you, like I said, Mike McDaniel, but you're not black. Like, you get white privilege in 95% of the places in the world, basically. 90% at least. You walking anywhere, you're going to get that white privilege. So to call you minorities, it's like that. It's like a, you know, a real black man. Like, you know, something that's really a problem that y'all can address. You know, not no just to say somebody minority because they mixed. Like I said, no disrespect. I think they say your dad half black or maybe 25% black. I'm not sure, but like I said, if you look at you know, people gonna look at you as a white man, a white person, and you gonna get white privilege everywhere in America. But 90% of the world, you getting white privilege, bro. So that minority little tag is like, it's cute. It's what I'm saying. They doing it's like appease numbers and all that. Nah, do something that really count. Hire a real black man that really deserves it. You know what I'm saying? Because all these coaches I see get the fucking jobs. You know what I'm saying? I don't never hear them say, oh, yeah, what he done to deserve it? And, well, he didn't do this. Like, bro, they just be finding people from anywhere, giving them jobs. Defensive coordinators that never prove they can be a head coach for anybody. Offensive coordinators that never prove they can be a head coach for anybody. They get jobs left and right if they got the complexion for the connection. But my man Pierce, you know, up for the job. Well, we don't know enough about him and how good it really is he and what is his philosophy. He's a defensive coach, and so like, yeah, y'all got all these parameters for you know, for other people, but it's just crazy, man. So I just don't want to see nothing stupid happen in the situation. Mark Davis, you need to do the right thing like Spike Lee and elevate Antonio Pierce to head coach. And like, you could wait a little bit, but as soon as the season's over, you need to do that, like, immediately. The next 2 days, I better see, the next 3 days, I better see Antonio Pierce is named the Raiders full-time head coach. He signed a 4-year deal with this, that, and that, and that. At least 4 years at the minimum. I'm thinking really 5. I'm really 5 for real. But if you give him 4, that's decent. You know, first time, whatever. We don't know too much. You know, y'all might want to send him a message like, look, we giving it to you, but it ain't sweet. So we want your best to push him a little bit, whatever. It's cool, but let's give him a real contract, 4 years, 5 years, whatever, and make sure he's compensated properly, and that's it. And you will be good. And like, it's crazy. I'm a Washington fan, I promise you. I don't root for anybody, not one speck. I don't root for anybody else. But it is certain teams like that I just like. I don't know why. I just like certain teams, like, you know, for whatever reasons. You know, I've been following the games since I was very young, playing video games, all that. So certain teams has always been in my favor, and certain teams I don't really like for whatever reason. The Raiders are a team I like. I don't know if it's because of the colors, like I said, certain teams, I don't know. The players, the culture, the history, I don't know. But it could be a combination of many of them things. It could be one of those things, whatever. I like the Raiders. I always fuck with the Raiders. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel the same way. Like, their name, the mystique. It's just something about the Raiders that, like, you kind of respect them and, like, look at them as, like, you know, yeah, you fuck with them or whatever. So, from my perspective, that's how I look at the organization. That's how I look at the brand, the team, all that. And if Mark Davis do not sign Antonio Pierce, that will go away. I'm just measly on me, so that don't really matter. You know, I'm just talking shit. I'm just over in my little corner. I'm just letting you know, though. I will not fuck with the Raiders ever again if they don't hire Antonio Pierce as a head coach. And I'm pretty sure I'm not alone in that feeling out here. You feel me? Because we all see he deserve it. We all see he earned it. And like I said, all the different writings on the wall is clearly saying that he should be the head coach. So Mark Davis, listen to your dad, man. I know he talking to you sometime. You probably hear him sometime. You probably think about it and whatnot. Just win, baby. And Antonio Pierce is going just win, baby. He clearly proven that. He's proving that he can win. And he could be a real coach and he can win. And if you give him an actual quarterback and let him develop in his system and his culture and give him time to build it up, yeah, I'm pretty sure he could do major things. And I would love to see it, man. I would love to see Antonio Pierce be the head coach of the Raiders, man. Like I said, it's something good. It feels good. It feels right. And I don't want to see y'all fuck up again. Like I said, I'm a Washington fan. I really can care less about what actually happens with y'all franchise. But I'm just speaking from the outside looking in. And like I said, I got a connection with my man Antonio. He was one of the players like that I first remember when I first started really understanding the game when I was watching and things like that. And I always loved him as a player and respected him. Even when he went to the Giants, I always and I could tell he loved playing us. He used to kill us. He used to go off on us because, he probably, felt deep down, he probably had that chip on his shoulder like, y'all ain't want me. Y'all ain't want to keep me. Even though he might have knew, might have didn't know we had the money, whatever. But at the end of the day, of course you're going to feel like that. You play your old team. And he used to go off on us every time. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I just always fucked with him as a player, as a man. I remember, like I said, I mentioned that Plaxico situation he went through. Like, I remember that situation. Like, I remember certain details and everything. I ain't gonna speak on it right now, but like, I even like the way he just carried that. Like, on some real man stuff. Like, even back then, I was younger, a little younger back then, but I was hip a little bit. I was like, nah, he carried it the way he's supposed to carry. You feel me? So, I definitely, I'm rooting for the best for Antonio. I want him to succeed, and hopefully he gets the job, man, and the Raiders do the right thing like Spike Lee, like I said. So, Raider Nation, Mark Davis, you better hear me, man. Y'all better, Raider Nation, y'all better make sure this gets to your boy Mark Davis, man. So he better do the right thing, because if he don't, like I said, it's going to set y'all back. It's going to set y'all back, man. You just can't keep spitting in the face of goodness and expect goodness. You're going to get bad after that, So you better accept it. You better embrace it, and, and move forward, man. So, Mark Davis, Las Vegas Raiders. Y'all better hear your boy Enrico when I tell you this good knowledge, man. They ain't going to come around every day, baby. So, take heed. But, yeah, man, I had to let y'all hear my thoughts on the Antonio Pierce situation with the Las Vegas Raiders. He definitely should get the job, in my opinion. But what do y'all think, man? Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I appreciate y'all. Whoever listening, give me a listen, man. I appreciate it. Definitely leave a comment. And I'm going to bring y'all some more content here in the future. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Enrico. Make it your best time. Till next time. Peace.